All right, Reggie here. We're in Kokomo, Indiana. I got Donald from My Empire. How's it going?
What's going on? Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
Just stopping by.
Yeah, last time we talked, it was Indianapolis, I think back in November on the Triple Threat Tour, the See-Through Tour.
Yeah.
Man, it hasn't stopped for you guys since then. You guys have been pretty busy since then.
Yeah, we've been out for, we've been out for a little over 2 years now. You know, now we're surpassing the 2-year mark.
Nice.
But it's all been very productive. It's been a process, and it's led to, you know, us finally getting some good supporting opportunities.
Nice, nice. You get touring with Drowning Pool right now.
Yeah.
Pretty early into the tour so far, right?
Yeah, we're only about 6-7 shows into the tour. You know, this is going to be our last tour on this record. We're going to stop in July and August to finish the new album, and you know, these guys go back a long way for us. You know, I was on this wind up with these guys in Submersed, and Corey toured with them back in the day, and you know, was really close to Dave and all of them. So it's fitting.
Nice, nice. This is what I think I saw you guys posted on Facebook earlier. Is this like the 5th show in 6 days or something like that? Is that right?
Yeah, you know, in this 35 days or something, there's about 30 shows. You know, so it's this is a jam-packed tour, and we're playing a lot. So.
As a vocalist, as a singer, how big of a strain is that on your voice, and how hard is it to really keep the vocal cords, you know, fresh, and keep them going?
Well, you know, I'm a little kind of reclusive, you know, by nature, so I think it kind of helps me because, you know, you just kind of, it's no fun really, you know, you don't need to go out and do shots all night long and stay up all night. You have to get your rest, and I take care of my body like it's my instrument, so that helps me kind of stay ahead of the curve a lot more as far as strengthening and conditioning and all these things. I mean, it's, you know, I don't think there's really any secret. It's just kind of doing a lot of things that most people don't want to do.
Right. Everybody's got a little bit of stuff that's different about each other. You know, some people have to take it a little bit more careful than others. Some people go harder than others. It's just about what's best for you.
Definitely, being in a band previously, this is a very dynamic sound to try to do live, and it is definitely a challenge. It's a challenge every day. It's a challenge to be out here for over 2 years and not, you know, hurt myself in any type of way. And then, you know, that really kind of has a lot to do with it right now. I mean, it's harder than it has been. My throat's usually like, hey, I'll give you one run at a time, and then I need some time off. So it's going to be looking forward to the break.
Nice. You guys are finishing up supporting Impact right now.
Yeah.
That was kind of a cool release. It was kind of a moment of impact with a couple live tracks, acoustic tracks put on there.
Yeah, I would call it an evolutionary release. You know, it was something where we were putting out music as we were building the infrastructure of our business, which was, you know, management and distributor and label partnership and all these things that go into, you know, what makes up My Empire now. So it was fun to be able to get early music out there in a way that made it unique and one of a kind, and then it turned into a double disc release, which is unique in itself. So.
Nice. You guys worked with a couple of guys from Sevendust as well.
Yeah, family.
Nice. How far back do you guys go with those guys? Obviously, Corey's got a lot of history there with Clint.
Yeah, Corey and Clint are brothers.
Yeah.
And Corey was around, you know, when Sevendust was starting out. You know, I mean, they kind of started to get that that Lowry groove out there a while ago. So, you know, I mean, it goes back to the roots. You know, for us, I remember my first record, Submersed. You know, Sevendust. You know, listening to Sevendust when I was in the Army. You know, it was a big influence on me coming up. I know Brad was the same way, so I mean, it's probably as far back as our beginning of music.
Nice. Earlier today, I got a chance to check out the Moment of Fate video.
Yeah.
Love that video. The dancing robot at the end of the video kind of took me by surprise there.
Yeah, you know, we were out on the tour with Nonpoint, and I think that was after we had been out with them for a while with Call Me No One, and that was Clint Morgan's, you know, side band, and it was a very fun tour. We called it the Brotherhood tour because we, you know, had so much fun in between shows and on off days and all that. And I think that was like the last, you know, show of, you know, that 3 months together or whatever. And you know, it was break night. So we were having fun with the robot suit, you know, and trying to break it down. You know, it's about creating memories and you know, about respect and support of each other. And it's always a lot of fun.
Awesome. Like you talked about, you guys are, when you get off the road, you're going to be working on some new music, finishing up a new record or starting a new record. Where's the new music at? What stage are we at right now?
We're about 90% done. We finished about 15 songs back towards the end of last year when we took like 2.5 months off or something before we started the touring cycle up this year. So we were ahead of the game on that. Now we have the ability to say, all right, these are the ones that stick. You know, let's try 2 or 3 more to see if we can, you know, top that. And if not, then we got a record, and you know, we have some, you know, guest appearances we're working on that we want to bring in, so we have to, you know, work on that. That'll take some time.
Any chance we'll hear any new material tonight or on this tour at all?
Yeah, we've been playing 3 new songs right now. 2 of them are, you know, straight album songs you can only hear here. One other one is a song called War Isn't Over Yet, which was just featured on the soundtrack to a documentary entitled Battlefield of the Mind.
Oh, okay.
Which we did with Fran Strine and Aaron Lewis from Stained.
There's a lot of people.
Mike Bushak and Pete Murray, and then those guys from Low Pro. So I mean, it's, you know, it was fun. But we play those 3 songs during the set right now.
Cool. Talk to me a little bit about the fans, the empire, so to say.
Yeah.
And the fans is what keeps everything going, keeps everything together. What is it about Empire fans that sets them apart from other fans?
Well, yeah, I think that's what I was thinking of when you were saying that. It is kind of cliche, you know, to say, hey, the fans are important. You know, the fans are a big part of this. And I think, you know, we should all understand that. It's pretty clear. But yeah, I mean, we do try. You know, we do try to take a different approach, and I think a lot of it is, you know, saying we're not going to expect your support. We're going to earn your support. We're not going to expect your respect. We're going to earn your respect. And we're going to earn your love and appreciation and everything else. And that's what we try to do. And I think when fans get involved with what we're trying to build and how we're building it, and the amount of time and effort and sacrifice that we're putting into it, I think it just becomes a little more personal. I think rather than you know, a hobby or, you know, a guilty pleasure. You know, we become a little more kind of the fabric of their lives a bit. And I think in a way that opens up, you know, us to have the ability to maybe have more of an impact, you know, on their lives, and that's something we take advantage of. We take very serious.
I think that when fans pick up on that mindset, it feeds back to them, and they feed back to you. And it makes for the concert experience to be better.
Yeah.
CD listening experience to be better.
Yeah, I think there's this culture of complacency that we've kind of cultivated over the last few decades, last couple of generations, and I think a lot of people are very reserved with their feelings, or you know, and you know, even to the point where they don't feel like there's enough love to go around. I mean, there's plenty of love to like multiple bands, you know.
Right.
I like them all, you know. I like all the grunge bands that came out at that time. I wasn't like just an Alice in Chains fan guy or just a Soundgarden fan. I appreciate everything that was going on, and yeah, it's a moment for us to be able to kind of awaken that. I think everybody has it within them. They just really need to be encouraged, and once you kind of awaken that part of their spirit, it kind of goes from there.
Nice. And another thing fans really pick up on is when the lyrical content is really coming from the heart. And Empire, you guys are one of those bands that you're lyrically strong, not just musically, but lyrically.
Right.
The songs are very deep. You can tell that they come from a different place than a lot of other bands' music does.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's, as a writer, I think I have a long way to go. So it's always hard for me to, you know, praise my lyrics, because I'm thinking I have a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of lyricists that I have so much admiration for. But I guess in a lot of ways, I think sometimes maybe a writer kind of shoots way over the head a little bit. I mean, people like what they're writing about, but they can't really grasp what the point is. Or on the other end, you know, people are so shallow and hollow and like you said, non-connected. They're just trying to really tell a story they feel like you want to hear and kind of pander to the audience. And for us, it's, I guess, trying to find that ground where you're telling these stories in a poetic way, but it's still not over people's heads, and it's still something that, you know, they feel like they can relate to, and in a lot of ways that they feel like they could have written themselves, you know, and I guess, you know, there has been an attention to detail with what we're doing to really make sure that comes across.
What's the most important thing for you when sitting down to write a song?
I think the most important thing for me is really a lack of control, I guess you could say. I try to really focus on not thinking about what I'm trying to do or what I'm trying to write, and just really try to hear what the song is saying to me, and that's just really the point I'm at, because, you know, it's, you know, I write from the perspective of you know, these guys create this music and they create this this musical landscape for me to tell my story or tell our stories over. And you know, from that point on, I really want to hear, you know, what the voice of that track is. So it's important for me to just kind of let it go, kind of live with it a little bit, put it on that loop, and you know, start to hear the song come together in my head.
Awesome. Well, hey man, I really want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. We're rocking tonight.
Oh yeah. I Empire, Kokomo, get here.